carat plated, you know, not really the nice stainless look that you could get from back then, where the 24 karat just has that more of like a presence almost. Comparing these two bags in size, if I were to actually wear this bag, I think this one is a really good bag whenever I'm in a rush or maybe like on the go. It has this really long strap, which I love, and I think this strap might even be longer than the one that is actually on my Chanel wallet that I have right here. But it's a little bit interesting because the way that this bag is made for this wallet on chain, it kind of almost resembles the Chanel Classic Flap, because on the back you do have this little pocket, and I'm not sure what you can technically stuff in here, but if you want to put maybe like cash, maybe a few cards, I don't know, business cards if you have a business or something. But I think that's a really cool idea to do, because with the Chanel like wallet on chain, it's going to have at least across 5 little diamonds, and then with the CC logos, it's going to always be in the middle. And of course, everyone knows that it's always going to be over and under. For the little logos, just always keep an eye out, so whenever you do buy a bag, that you want it to have the CCs going over and then under at the bottom. So the inside of the bag, you do have this little metal zipper part. I have seen some other bags that might come with the leather, but that is maybe some of the older models. So do keep in mind that with the Chanel wallet on chain, some will have the metal zipper, but then some will also have the little leather strap as well too. I think the cutest thing about this bag is its size, because I feel like even though it's technically like a wallet on chain, this could be used for a lot of mini things, because for someone like me who sometimes when I don't really want to carry a lot of stuff, like I just want to carry a few cards, my ID, my phone, and then maybe like lip tint or chapstick or maybe lip gloss or something to kind of just carry it around with me so that I'm just hands-free. I think this is a great bag that I feel like a lot of people could use much more than like a medium-sized bag or like a, you know, tote bag or something when you're carrying water bottles and all these heavier items. But if you're just on the go and you're just going out really quickly to a brunch date or maybe with friends or something, like to the movies, I think this would be your best bet to like use as an everyday bag because of the size. I think it's so cute because on the inside you have these little card slots right here, if you can't tell. So there's about 6 card slots, and you know, I don't know about you, but for me, I typically just have my credit card, my debit card, and then just my ID. So there's not much that I really need to really put into a card holder or a full-blown wallet. And then nowadays, I don't really think people really carry cash anymore. Like, I feel like we're about to hit this whole big recession, and there's been so much talk about digital currency and all these things that, like, honestly, the way that life is moving, it's just going to be very different in the next couple of months, and this year is definitely going to be life-changing. COVID happened and a lot of people went through things mentally, but I feel like there's going to be this big break and a lot of people aren't paying attention to what's going on. So that's just another topic for a different story. We're not gonna get into that today. With this, it doesn't come with one of these authenticity cards. So it does have, however, the serial chip that's on the inside that's going to authenticate the bag for you. So it does have that, which is great. And there's also another little pocket here, which I think is so pretty. So the craziest thing with these bags nowadays, it's like they're starting to be like an arm and a leg, honestly. And I find it so crazy that people pay so much money for these little tiny bags, because it's just so, I don't know, it's just so crazy to me, honestly. But even for myself, to pay like $2,000 for this, like that's a lot of money for a bag, like a bag. And I feel like with Instagram nowadays, we just keep comparing ourselves to other people, and you know, this person has a Chanel bag and this person has a Dior bag and that girl has a Louis Vuitton, like the newest updated bag. And so everyone's kind of comparing each other to everyone. But, you know, I feel like we've grown up with so much trauma and so much, you know, problems like internally that we didn't know how to express. Nowadays, I feel like with social media, we just compare, and we have this like hatred and jealousy that like we see something that someone has and we feel like we can't have it. But you know, just because someone has something, it doesn't mean that you can't have it too. So it's all about your mindset, okay? Like change your mindset into like a better positive one, because the person who ran like the quickest mile, nowadays every single person is starting to run a really fast 4-minute mile because of what? Their mindset. And so they're changing it more and more and like realizing that they can have things that other people can have too. So going back to this though, like I think honestly whoever's going to win this, you guys are going to love this little tiny bag so much. It's not the, you know, Chanel classic flap or anything crazy, but I feel like it still exudes that like classiness, and it also has that chain strap that is like the metal. It's literally everything that the Chanel classic flap is without, of course, the flap. And honestly, I kind of prefer that better, because when you have the double flap, it just gets like ruined. There's a lot of issues. The little turn lock is kind of annoying. In my last video, if you watched it, you can definitely see all the things that I talked about in there. Honestly, if it was me, I would literally choose this bag over that bag any day. If I could literally keep this bag, I would. But I mean, honestly, I could, but I'm not going to, because I really want to give this away, and just as a token, as a giveaway. You know, I might even start giving away some extra like little maybe AirPods if anybody's interested. I have some extra ones that I have that I think y'all might maybe be of use and love, but that might be for another giveaway down the road. You know, this one, I'm just on my journey to 1,000 subscribers in this new channel, and you know, I'm still kind of like figuring out what I want to do for this channel. I really don't know, because you know, designer bags, it has this whole kind of like connotation behind it, and the people who carry luxury designers, and people think that like because you spend so much money on, you know, something so expensive that you have this like rich affluent life, but that's not true. So don't believe what you see on social media, okay? But anyways, so I just wanted to show you guys this bag. It's literally the cutest wallet on chain that I've ever seen. I know that there's a lot other ones that exist already out there, but the fact that it's Chanel, it's caviar leather, it's in black, it's going to last you quite a long time. So let's go ahead and get into comparing it to this other one. So I believe that this one is actually just called a Chanel full flap, because it just has this one flap and nothing else. On mine, it does come with that, I think this is called like a felt tip, like fabric protector or whatever. On mine, it has the double CCs on the inside. And the one thing that I really love about this bag is that it has this kind of like little needle pin push button instead of like a normal button. As you can see on the inside of this bag, it's actually quite expanded, and you can actually overstuff this bag. So it's almost like this W shape, as you can see on this side right here. But whenever you close it, and it's more of like that wallet on chain look, don't be fooled, because you can literally fit, like, I can fit my phone in here. I feel like if I wanted to stuff this thing in here, oh my gosh, look you guys, I could totally stuff that in there. I mean, it wouldn't close, but just to show you what would actually fit inside this purse. But I always try not to overstuff this bag, because it is so old, and it's 26 years old. I don't want it to get ruined or stretched out. I don't want the fabric to really get ruined. Not really fabric, but the leather, you know what I mean. And this one, because it's the older model, it's going to have like the serial number sticker that's in the corner at the very bottom here. But just to compare the two, so this one on mine, I actually don't have like little card inserts. I just have this little pocket right here that just unzips and has just enough space to, honestly, if I just want to put like a couple cards or something, but nothing too crazy on the inside of this bag. Because with Chanel, I don't know if you guys know, but the brand is actually, it always symbolizes stuff like, you know, elitism, wealth, and luxury, more elegance and class. And so with that, it's just, you know, I always dreamt of being that type of person where one day I would, you know, look at myself, and I've always been that person who like just thought of the bigger picture of where my life would be. And I never really saw myself just like working a simple office business job or something like that. Like, I have always dreamt big, and I feel like whenever I think about Chanel, that's kind of like the message behind it as well, is to dream big and, you know, want these big things for yourself and your life, even though it's very materialistic and we are Americans who love material things. But it also talks more about just like so much more, you know. But comparing these two bags, I think it's so pretty because of the chain that they both have. It is going to be slightly different in color because, again, this is 24 karat and this is just the coated regular. But look at this. You see how longer the other chain is? Like, this is definitely a huge difference. So if I were to do it side by side, this one's longer by that much, which is quite a lot. And I wish my bag was honestly longer, because with this one, it's kind of like a weird, awkward like
bag. I literally just put my phone in my card holder, and then I could probably throw in a lipstick in here, but I am able to wear it as a shoulder bag. And I'm wearing my, oh, this is my favorite sweatshirt, and I think we have 5 more available left on the website. If you're interested, this is my Thinks It's Vintage Fashionica sweatshirt with a few of my favorite designer bags. Vintage designer bag collector. Able to throw it over the shoulder. My sweatshirt isn't really showcasing it at its full potential, but it can fit over the shoulder, which is a huge perk. This is the baby, and I absolutely love this bag. Would I ever source this again? 100% absolutely. I just don't know if I ever will. After sourcing this bag, it just like ignited a love for Gucci. That's why I have another Gucci bag on my 2024 wish list. It is this stunning Gucci mini lizard Jackie with crystals as well. I'm pretty sure it's sold out in the US. You have a little birdie helping me work on that bag. This was a short and sweet little video of what my rarest designer bag is. Let me know what kind of content you want to see on here. Thank you so much for watching. Bag drops every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific time in my shop, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hugs and kisses. Bye guys.
Zippered pocket right here. And so it is gonna be embossed Chanel, made in Italy. Make sure it's the correct font, make sure it is clear, easy to read, and not blurry. Last, let's look at the quilting on the bag. And this can be a really easy way to authenticate a bag online if they don't show too many pictures. If you're getting one with a pocket, such as this one, so look right here, you can see this all the way around. And look how every diamond is completed perfectly. So this should be the case all the way around the pocket. On fake bags, a lot of them are a little mismatched and might be a little off center with the other diamonds. Make sure to check out the blog link below so you can see more pictures and so you can compare and contrast your own bag and make sure it is authentic. As always, get it professionally authenticated. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Again, other than that, this is just a little bit more shiny in real life compared to this one. Also, they did inform me that what they use to make the fake one is sheepskin, and the authentic one is lambskin. So it's just a more mature leather and is not as expensive as lambskin, because lambskin is baby. So. And I think that's all that I have to say for today. I mean, this is a really great experience. I got to like see firsthand what to look out for, and I feel like this has definitely increased my knowledge, and I'm now extra like vigilant and able to be a little bit more OCD. I definitely took on a risk because I wasn't sure if this was gonna come out looking like total crap and it'll be like way too obvious, and so I'm really glad for how this went down, how smooth it was, that I didn't get scammed first and foremost. And I honestly feel like within that 20 minutes of looking over and comparing, contrasting the two, I have learned so much more than I ever have just from like talking and listening to people on what to look out for. I'm just like that type of learner where I have to feel it, go through it, and then I know for myself. I hope this was also educational and helpful for you. You can never tell, especially with like so-called super fakes around. I don't think this was a super fake, because apparently with like super fakes it would be very, very hard to tell those details, whereas with this one I caught quite a lot of things. This is probably just like a very good replica, but not to the level of a super fake. There's still a lot of super fakes that end up passing through authenticators and get sold in a lot of third-party websites than with their own hired authenticators. So yeah, that just gives me so much anxiety. And so even though as a person I don't even know how to authenticate, so what I ended up doing was always just buy from boutiques so that I don't have that anxiety. But for myself, I wanted to learn how to be able to tell. I hope like you learned a little something. I know it's like a little bit messy. I'm in the